Hi guys, this Stock is Chelsea Football Channel. Chelsea 2, Servette nil in a game that you're having mixed feelings. I think I have more bad feelings than I do positive ones. Going into this game, obviously, I made the prediction that they were going to go handsomely through this game. 4-0 win, easy result, not much to worry about. Halftime, it's 0-0. You might be thinking to yourself, maybe this team, they had good chances, they just couldn't put them away. No, the first half was worse. I mean, they were the worst team. Servette had more chances. In the first 10 minutes, Chelsea had a great chance. The press from Marguerite was excellent. I mean, like he did all night before he got subbed off. I mean, he was pressing the ball excellently. He stole the ball from the keeper in the first half. He brought it around him, just fell down, couldn't keep up with the ball. You all had more chances from Pedro Neto, a few crosses inside the box as well in that first few. But then after outside of that, what was it? The first half, Chelsea couldn't create any more chances after that. It was basically they were just defending for their lives almost in that first half. I think the shot discrepancy in the first half was 10-4. Servette were the better team in the first half, you can say. They looked like they were the team that were poised to score. You had a few crosses inside the box, long throws that were coming in from Servette players. Dangerous plays, but the center backs were doing okay with them. Um, I feel like as though all fans and this is the reason why we're a laughing stock to other fan groups. We can barely beat a Swiss team in the Conference League. So then you move into the second half. Of course, you get right away good results. And Kunku gets fouled inside the box. It looks a lot like the Club America penalty. The goalie comes at him, takes his legs out. He gets the pen, he wins it, scores it. 1-0 Chelsea. Again, after that, you see a little bit more movement. You see a little bit more possession. Mudryk tonight looked really, really solid outside of again, it's his end product. He was creating chances. It's just about what he was doing. I mean, to start the first half, you see him make a great run down the field, takes a good turn, plays the ball, and then it's just not a good pass. It's as simple as that. Like it's his end product that is just not that good. It's his football IQ and where to place passes after you make everything you're doing is so good. It's just so poor. So hopefully we'll get to see, a bit better end product from him soon, but and a better result, but we'll get him ratings soon. Then you get more into this. Nani Madueke comes on. I thought he was a player that should have started in this game, but he didn't. Enzo Fernandez come along with him. Of course, Enzo Fernandez played a wonderful pass over the top of the defender. Nani Madueke took a good touch, smashed in with his right foot, top right corner of the net. Like they were saying on the broadcast, it looked a lot like the goal he scored at Kenilworth Road last season. I agree full heartedly. I mean, in that goal last season, Kaminsky had no idea he was going to shoot with his right. He literally didn't even move last year because he was like, "Wow, this guy's so one dimensional. I'm not even going to try and dive for it." But then he shot it right and he didn't move. And this is almost the exact same thing. The goalie had no idea he was going to shoot with his right foot. He kind of expected him to shoot with his left, and then Madueke just puts it right past him. I mean, this guy has all of the tools. This guy is amazing. He should have started today. I mean, he's giving Maresca every single little bit of to start him. He should be starting on Sunday. I mean, he played, I think, from the 65th minute on today or something around there. He's going to be fit for Sunday's game. I see no reason why Madueke does not start this game. In the second half, we were much better. Obviously, those two goals. After those two goals, though, it wasn't much. Once it hit the 80th minute, the team stopped. It was dead. It's like they wanted to leave. Servette have like at least 5 or 6 chances to score after the 80th minute of this game. You've got one where they got a cross and it goes straight through the middle of the box. The guy literally has a tap in, but it's like he wasn't ready for it or he just took a crappy touch. The thing should go top left corner and they should get one back. 2-1, go to back home. They've had multiple chances. Jorgensen made a point blank save on the 96th minute. Jorgensen, also another guy who has a great game. We'll talk more about it in a second, though. But overall, my feelings are very wishy-washy. Like I said, I'm hoping this was a better result. You saw a little bit more team play in this one, but you're still not sitting here liking the way they play. I mean, there's a lot of times where you're looking at the guys and they like progress the passes, and all of a sudden they'll stop and they'll play behind them. Like, this is why fans are going to get annoyed with this type of play. But as long as it's going to work, that's all we're going to care about. It's like, but there's got to be more progression going into this Wolves game. Teams like Servette you should be beating, of course, but you know, I really was not a fan of that first half, especially second half, way much better. But you know, you got to see better. You got to see better. Let's hop into these team lineups. This was the lineup that Maresca picked for this game. Surprisingly, I was right when it came to what almost what the backline was going to be. I had the right choices. I had picked Vega, I had picked Tosin, I had picked Disasi, and I had Jorgensen. And now I'm really happy he picked Jorgensen in this game. Obviously, we'll go through these ratings in just a second, but I want to go through the lineup first. Um, Jorgensen had a very good game. Uh, actually, let's talk about the overall player positions first. So Vega with Caicedo, he played that 3-2-4-1 style in a way. It's basically a 3-2, I guess. Yeah, it's the 3-2-4-1. I mean, you had basically Dewsbury Hall was like that left side midfielder, and Kunku was basically that right sided guy. These guys were basically, Dewsbury Hall and Nkunku were basically the guys that were pushing up all throughout the games. And then you had your wingers. Basically, also the ones I predicted, Mudryk and Neto, and then Mark Guiu up top. Um, so we expected him to maybe play this inverting left fullback position more throughout the season because you saw it all throughout basically preseason. There was no way it was just going to go away, and that's exactly what happened in this one. He brought it back, and it looked pretty good in the second half. Throughout the first half, you weren't really liking it, but I am happy to see that he is sticking somewhat to his roots and he's not completely abandoning with the way he wants to play because that would, it just basically ruins your um, credibility as a coach. I mean, he was a guy who they said would only really stick to his guns at this one type of formation. I mean, we've seen him play multiple different types of formations so far, so I'm happy he's actually gone back to this formation. Also, this was a good test to see how this formation would do against lower end opposition. And well, you're not really sitting here saying to yourself, well, it was very successful. It was okay. It wasn't anything too major. Jorgensen, though, again, these great ratings. Jorgensen, I gave a 7. Easily could have been an 8. I know on SofaScore they gave him like an 8.4. He did make a lot of saves. A few of them were saves that were easy. The ones at the end were point blank. That one was a very good save from Jorgensen. Um, there's a few others that were really solid, but I mean, he kept the clean sheet. He stopped a goal right at the end from going in. I mean, it's a stop. It's still a save he should be making. It's a good stop, but it's still a stop he making. I think a 7 was very reasonable. Overall, solid game, clean sheet, very good stuff. Badiashile on the left hand side, easily the worst of the center backs. There's still the passing mistakes that he makes. It's almost like even when he's not even under too much pressure, he still finds a way to make the stupid ass mistake. Like he just passes it to someone on the left hand side and ends up just being like a hospital pass for your left winger or your center midfielder. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like this guy would have been better off just again sitting on the bench. I honestly don't understand. I think he had Colwell on the bench for this game. I would have much rather seen him play, or maybe even Vega play left center back. I wasn't a big fan of it. Tosin, he looked very ready. He slotted straight into this center back. I mean, he had his height. I mean, him and Badiashile are both, I think, 6'5", big, tall guys. Tosin easily looked like he was good in front of the center, or the best center back in the pairings. Not the quickest guy from what I was seeing. He wasn't moving around too much. He basically was the guy in the middle as that ball winner, but in clearing from headers. But he was really solid. I think that his presence was overall, it was felt easily amongst the pairings. Disasi, I mean, I didn't expect him actually to be playing in this one, but I picked it. I picked it, and it was right. And he was okay. I mean, he played a lot more minutes than I expected. He played, I think, 75 to 80 minutes. Then got subbed out for Malo Gusto, who was absolutely atrocious, by the way. He had 2 hospital passes that were just actually one of them wasn't even a hospital pass. He played it straight to the guy, and he almost scored off of it. But Disasi, I mean, very, very solid. Not too much bad. Also, not too much good. Figured a 6 would be okay. Caicedo, I gave a 7. I figured his defensive display in this one was really solid. Didn't do much progressing, but that's not really what his game is. He's a ball winner. He likes to get up the field and play good passes inside, but he's not that passing guy. So I thought Caicedo did a very wonderful job in this one. I didn't, he won a few tackles. I don't know the exact stat, but I remember just seeing him collect the ball a lot and then able to distribute well to the guys who were supposed to be progressing. So I thought Caicedo was pretty good. He played the captain role as well in this one. Vega from the left back, he honestly, I think he's my player of the match. Like for so many times, he and Caicedo did pretty well in that midfield together. He has that pivot. Very, very good. I mean, every time he inverted at a left back, it's so good as well to see him. He's a guy who gives energy. Every tackle he makes, he's trying to get the crowd hyped. I mean, at some points in this game, all I was hearing were Servette fans. They were losing by 1.2-0, and you hear them over our fans. Like, what was with the guys? Give your guys some praise. Try and keep the guys hyped and ready for more games. Like, they want to hear you. They want to hear the 12th man. not be invisible. But Vega was incredible. I loved the way he inverted from the midfield. He wasn't really getting up higher. He was basically playing a pivot more role with Caicedo and getting back, but he did it excellent. He did an excellent job in this game. I'd love to see him keep getting consistent playing time, especially in this competition. There's a good chance he might play on Sunday, but there's definitely a shot I think he'll start again on Thursday of next week. Dewsbury Hall, I think a 6 is a little low, maybe. I think that the yellow card doesn't give him a bump down. I think he did obviously play the ball into Nkunku to get the goal. But I also feel like he was, average in a way when it came to overall play. I think a 7 he could have gotten. I think SofaScore gave him like a 7.3 or 7.4. Easily this could be a 7, but I don't think he did enough to the point of getting a little bit more of a bump up. I was happy with his overall passing, but then there were some plays where he just wasn't releasing it in time. A few guys did that today where they weren't releasing the ball, the pass to the right man in time. So I'm a bit of a stickler on that. Mudryk, maybe a 7's a little bit too high in this one, but the thing is, everything he was doing in this game is what you wanted him to do. It's just about the end product with this guy. Something about him when it comes to playing the right pass or taking another touch passer defender. It's as simple. He had a chance in the first half where he just, maybe he takes it off Gyu because he has nobody else. He goes in, he takes the shot, slices it wide. Maybe if he just takes two touches and then just puts in the right hand corner, it's a goal. But instead he just takes it too early. He just panics. But I think a 7's good. He showed some good flashes. He played this entire game. He showed that he could play an entire game, and he was running for basically the entire game. I think a 7's pretty fair. And Kunku, he basically gets an 8 because of his running and passing, and he gets the goal. The fact that he gets a goal alone bumps him up probably plus a 7, but his overall play was very solid in this one. He got subbed out, I think, for just load management. Pedro Neto, I gave a 5. There were a few good chances I gave in this one. He's on the lower end of spectrum because he didn't really do too much. I think he could be along with a 6. I think a 6 would honestly fit him a bit more. I gave him a 5 because I wasn't really 100% sure whether it was a 5 or a 6, but I'm a little bit happy with his performance still to get a debut. Um, I'm very excited to see what he can give us. So I forgot to change his number from 19 to 7, but it's whatever. I'm very excited to see what he can give us though. And Mark Gu up top, this easily could have been like an 8 or a 9. This guy could have had 2 to 3 goals hat trick today. He sliced one that went past the right off, like I said, right off the opening. He had the guy he dribbled around the keeper, just fell, and then he had another one where he just completely fluffed the entire thing. He pressed the goalie again, took it around. All he had to do was put it in the bottom right corner, and he just like scuffed it. But it's a 6. His pressing was very good in this one. Just because of the faulty chances, I gave him a less score. And then I also made some rating for the bench. So if we go down here, Palmer, I gave a 6. A little bit of ball progression in this one. Wasn't too amazing, but wasn't bad. Enzo Fernandez and Madueke both get 8s. It was a great performance for both of them in this one. I think that they both did excellent. I didn't give Lavia one. Madueke's goal, like I said, it was very good. I just got rid of it. I thought Madueke's performance was excellent. Fernandez, I thought, was excellent as well. Made great challenges and great passes. Gusto, I gave a 4. Easily could have been a 3. He literally looked like he didn't want to be playing in this game. Otherwise, I'm very happy with how the bench came into this game and looked. We need to see better overall from the start to finish, though. Yeah, we got to see more from the guys. I think that I'm a little. I was maybe I was hoping I was going to see a little bit more of the guys. Of course, Servette are midway. I think they're already like 8 games, 9 games into their season. So like, they're still up to speed way more than we are. This is our second league game of the season. I mean, Servette have probably played total like 12 games this year, maybe 10 or 12 games. You know, I feel like we're only like what, 9, 8, maybe more than that. I mean, they might even play more than 10 games. So the thing is, like, we're still building our way, we're still building our stamina. So, you got to give us time. But I'm still being obviously positive. A 2-0 win is the first win under Maresca's era. Obviously, it wasn't a very pretty first win, but I'm still very, very excited to see what we can get. Um, I think Saturday late afternoon, I will be posting the match preview for Sunday's game. Either that or it'll be tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be Saturday. Otherwise, very, very excited to see what comes on Sunday against Wolves. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Thank you very much. Bye bye.